I know, like ages since I've posted up any videos, and this is one of the reasons why I've been reworking my craft area that where I do my painting and stuff. It Before it was kind of dark and I had an awful lot of stuff stacked on top of each other, so I was always lifting something up to get to something else. All my paints were stored away in drawers, and I kept buying paints whenever I was out if they were in a clearance bin. So getting everything out that I've accumulated over 35 years of gaming was quite a mess. But this is kind of what I've got now. Everywhere that there are these cubes, I'm trying to work with like a drawer and then a shoebox on top, so that I don't have to lift one to get to the other. Pull stuff out to get to the stuff in the drawers, and then pull this out if I want to get to my adhesives and tapes. I know this thing, my eyesight's so bad I can't tell whether this is blurry or not, and these things down here for my paints are kind of a cheap dollar store hack. I'll pull one of those out and tell you what I did in more detail in case you're looking for a way to get to your paints that you've accumulated. At least those. There's also a variation that you can use to get the larger GW size bottles. Anyway, just thought I'd show you what I've been working on, and that I'm ready to do some painting again if I get myself into it. And I'll bring one of these dollar store hacks out and show you how I put it together and see if it's anything that you might be interested in. Sorry if I'm making you nauseous with all this moving around. Well, I got still this little flip. Okay, here it is a little bit closer up. This is like a $6 investment. Each one of these two drawers was $1, and they're big enough to, put a couple of extra paints in, or stir sticks, agitators. So $2 there. Each one of these I think is probably for nail polish, and it holds these size fairly well and organizes them. There is 16 here, so for $4 you've got 64 paints for a $6 investment. And the pros obviously is the cost. That's very inexpensive. And the way I glued them together is I took two of these and glued them side by side, and then I glued another pair glued side by side to the back, top to the bottom of this one. Gives you kind of one low row, but still it brings these two together, and then a couple of stabilizing legs back here at the back. The cons are, although they go together, they're not made to go together. So it can be kind of interesting trying to glue these together. If you just shove them together, they tend to tilt in, and then getting them all together is a little bit of a challenge, but not too much. And once you put them together and you put them in, you're not going to be moving them around. Other negative, or not big negative, but a con I guess, would be they don't offset the paints so that you get kind of a better view of what color is in the paint. Ideally, what I might do is, as I use these things, I'll paint either the whole cap or this tip up here, whatever the color of the paint is, and then I think I'll have a real good visual cue on what paint is in there. This is mostly like all these eyedropper bottles. You've got Army paints, you got Vallejo, you got Reaper, all those eyedropper type bottles fit in there ideally. So 64 paints, and I've got 4 of those set up, so that's 128 paints for an investment of $24. And the stuff I was looking at online that was really appealing to me was like 50 paints for $50 or something, so that was a lot more expensive. So this was my Dollar Tree hack, buying these cosmetic things and gluing them together. And as I said, you've got some up here, same investment, same drawers, but these are a little bit wider and flatter so that they handle the GW size paints. And those are 9 per tray, so you're getting 1836 per unit. And that's what I have the least of because that's what dried out the most. So these are kind of my items that need to get, if I want to use them, I better use them up because they just don't last that long. I've got OGW pots from 25 years ago that still have paint and are viable, but the new stuff and the new bottles are, I don't buy those anymore. And over here I've just put all of my washes, metallics, and inks, anything that would be like a technical paint. And as you could see, I said, you know, agitators. I've got some agitators up here to put in the bottles. Extra bottles, kind of tack. There's, you know, a lot of different things that you can put in here. I guess that's probably, I've got my airbrush paints up there and my airbrush station back in here, which I just have a knockoff I bought from another YouTuber. So eventually I would like to try and get a Badger and find out whether I just don't have the talent for it, or whether I just need to get the right tool to see if I can start doing some stuff with the airbrush. Some of these bigger models from Reaper, trying to paint them like I do minis is like trying to paint a barn with a toothbrush. So gloves, palettes, paint pots, I'm starting to label things, but I try to keep all of these things with an open clear front that I can see what's in them. Hobby knives and tools. I have my brushes broken down. Don't know if that shows up or not to where you can actually read it, but like my really good brushes are in the bottom, anything that's sable, and then just brushes. And then I have my red shirt brushes, which is my homage to Star Trek, which means those brushes probably won't survive their next episode. So so there you go, a lot of organizing, and hopefully it'll get me in a mood to sit down here and take some of the clutter away. And now I've got kind of some open areas where I can do my modeling and assembling and gluing, and then also an area that I can flip around and do painting. And right now I'm getting ready to work on some models from expansions for Brimstone. I finished the Cities of the Ancients. It's one of the things that I get done, and some zombie side painting. I kind of like painting the games because I don't put as much pressure on myself. You know, it's just a board game, so if I can slap on some color to make it a little bit more entertaining, that's all I have to do. I'm not trying to paint high quality. So as I said, it's been a long time, but my technology hasn't changed. I still have this simple little flip camera, and I hope all of you guys are still enjoying your hobbies. I've been real excited that Catatafish is on Twitch now, and he's live streaming and talking sometimes, so it's nice to reconnect with him. He's posted up a couple of channels, so if you haven't talked to him in a while, stop by and say hi. So, hope all you guys are doing well. May God bless you, each and every one. God willing, I'll be talking to you again later.